My name's Steve Cowley. I'm a senior consultant with Finch, and my background's in health and safety and occupational hygiene. And today I'm talking to Sue Dearden about worker engagement. Sue.
Indeed we are, yes. I'm a solicitor specialising in health and safety, but it's you who've got the particular specialist knowledge today on employee engagement.
Yeah, it's an area I'm particularly passionate about because I think we do it very badly as a rule. I think we tend to pay lip service to consultation and involvement of our employees. We're obviously going to talk about what we mean by these terms in a moment, but I feel we could get a lot more out of our employees by recognising what value they can add by being involved in the health and safety decisions we make. I know you come at it from a legal perspective.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I tend to see employee engagement as an issue when employers are prosecuted or are under investigation following an accident at work, where actually the nub of the issue is that an employee has failed to follow a safe system of work or a permit to work or any procedure that they've been given or training that they've been given. But the law being as it is, it comes back to the employer who's failed to retrain them or to emphasise it sufficiently, and it's very difficult to defend the Section 2, Section 3 offences that employers will typically face. And I very much come at this from an angle that you can tell your employees what to do, but if you give them a big fat stick, as it were, to make them comply, then that helps. And the stick I normally use is to point out to them that they have direct duties themselves under Section 7, particularly of the Health and Safety at Work, etc. Act, which is a duty on employees at every level to take reasonable steps themselves to ensure their own safety and the safety of others who may be affected by their actions or omissions. And then there's another specific legal duty under Section 37 of the Health and Safety at Work Act, which is one imposed on managers and on directors, such that if the company is guilty of an offence of failing to take reasonably practicable steps to ensure the health and safety and welfare of their employees and others, and that breach was one in which a senior manager has connived, consented, and the breach is basically their fault, then that individual as well as the company will be guilty. So those are the sticks that I would generally wheel out to try and achieve compliance. But I know that you've got other ideas.
Yeah, well, I come at it from a slightly different angle, which is what positive benefits there are from involving employees in the decisions we make about their health and safety, which is what the Act requires. Mm. And to me, consultation is something we tend to pay lip service to. We tend to tell people what we've decided. We've decided this about this machine. We've decided this about the process. We've decided what this risk assessment looks like. But I think we're missing a trick. If we could involve the employees in that risk assessment process, we're going to be using their knowledge, intricate knowledge often of how the process works, how the machine works, how the work is done, what the product looks like. And the risk controls that we put in place, they're more likely to be used and be effective if employees have been involved in their development.
So it sounds a bit as if what you're describing is akin to the Kaizen process, which I don't know if you've come across it, but it's a Japanese philosophy, I suppose, which requires engagement and evolution of health and safety in this context through worker engagement and continual improvement to health and safety. I suppose the continual improvement is an ongoing part of the process, isn't it, rather than setting up the systems and processes in the first place.
Absolutely, and that's where the engagement pays off versus consultation.
Yeah.
If we're telling somebody what we're going to do and then doing it versus involving them in, as I say, the risk assessment, understanding the risk, delivering the controls, they can see the controls being put in that they've had some involvement in, and they will then give the feedback, because the fourth step in the risk management process, the identification, assessment, control, the fourth step is evaluating how effective the risk control measure has been. And with that continuous improvement cycle, it's the same. Yeah. We evaluate the risk controls, and the engaged employees will give us feedback and continuously improve that risk control. So we give them the knowledge. We've got to give them the power as well. We need to empower employees, which involves a lot of trust. And I don't know if you've experienced this, but I think it's a lot of employers have a bit of trouble letting go and empowering employees to make some decisions and being prepared to let them make the wrong decisions sometimes.
Yeah, that's difficult, isn't it? Because I have seen the consequences where employees with the best motivation in the world will develop a different way of doing something because actually it's easier to do it that way, and it cuts corners without realising that this sort of pushes down a button that creates another risk.
That's a really good point, and I don't advocate a free-for-all. I see empowerment as employees being given the rein to explore solutions, come up with ideas,
and talk about them,
rather
than just to implement them.
Yeah. And then as a result of that, there should be some rewards as well. And part of the rewards,
cake.
well, the psychologists talk from the psychologist's perspective on worker engagement. There's the sort of extrinsic rewards, which are, if you like, bonus payments and cake and whatever else that you find rewards you in your work. But there's also the intrinsic reward of seeing something you've had involvement in achieving improvement in the workplace. Yeah, I think we could do better at it. And yeah, I fully understand there's two sides. There's the carrots and the sticks, but with some promises as well, get that marketing type sort of approach and we get some results.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks.